am a second grade teacher here at Wimber Elementary School, and we've had the pleasure of working with Aaron for the second year in a row now through PA Woods and Forests. And he brought tadpoles and also carnivorous plants to our classroom for our students to raise and water and watch them as they grew. It was such a wonderful experience for my students to be able to see this life cycle in real time. We teach this life cycle as part of our Cycles in Nature unit in our curriculum. And so to be able to see the things that they learn about in their books and the things that they write about and the things that they draw pictures of and see videos about, to be able to see that in real life right in front of them, that kind of experience is incredibly valuable to a student and their learning.
I am a third grade elementary science teacher here at Conemaugh Township, and I have been fortunate enough to be partnered up with Mr. Aaron and PA Woods and Forests. This has been extraordinarily beneficial to my classroom. I spend a lot of time working with animal and plant life cycles. The children got firsthand experience. They got the daily observations, the journaling, and it really made them excited. It made the experience incredible, and it really solidified what they learned about life cycles, so much so that they then started researching on their own, and I even had a child bring in a praying mantis egg that we're trying to hatch currently. So I really am grateful for PA Woods and Forest and all of the opportunities they've provided for our classroom.
Hi, I'm Leanna Weimer, and I am from Rockwood FFA. This is our fourth year with PA Woods and Forests, and we have raised tadpoles that were frogs and toads. We've also raised pitcher plants, and we raised millipedes. Our kids, PA Woods and Forests comes to us, and they give a presentation, and then they'll bring the pitcher plants or the animals that we're raising, and our kids love that. They love the application of learning stuff through PA Woods and Forests and then actually seeing that in their own classroom. Whenever we're done with that project, the kids know that they're going back to the environment, and that's also really important to them. And also our kids would like to see the program I guess get some more funding. We'd like to be involved in any part of that. Our kids are super excited for anything that's outdoor related. This is a wildlife class, so those kids typically take the class because they are interested in the environment.
Hi, my name is Moira Smith, and I'm a K-3 science teacher at Valley School of Ligonier in Rector, Pennsylvania. This is our second year of working with PA Woods and Forests and with Aaron. They are excited to welcome the tadpoles, and as they help me take care of the tank, they're thinking forward about the actual work that they're doing in helping these creatures that are eventually going to go back and thrive in nature. I tie our fostering of the tadpoles into life cycles. Introduction of the pitcher plant in the spring when they're delivered with the tadpoles is always like a moment where they stop and say, that's an actual carnivorous plant. They get really excited about it. And then the mushroom kit was cool. So in second grade, we talk about the kingdoms of life, and in talking about fungi, being able to like actually see those spores mixed in with the food, and having the kids spray them, so knowing they need warmth, they need moisture, they need food, and then they just sort of take it from the fungi takes it from there was a really powerful experience too. And then
hi, I am Ryan Steffen. I am a high school special education teacher at Ligonier Valley High School. What I do is a pull-out science class, so I work a lot with students with lots of various learning disabilities, and what we do here, we do a lot of hands-on learning, so it's been great to partner with Aaron to do something different where the kids can actually see a project grow and develop over time. So by bringing in the wood frogs, it's been a nice experience where they've been able to see them grow, mature, go through the evolution of that life cycle, to see how their bodies kind of change as they go from that tadpole into more of like a frog. If this is a project we can continue in the future, we have to grow it. We can do things more locally to benefit, habitats all over the area would be outstanding. We also have resources where we can start to maybe have a second tank to try to expand this as well. The students really seem to enjoy it. It was something they were excited to come to class every day to see kind of where we were at with the progress, taking turns feeding them, kind of monitoring them. hopefully next year, now that we kind of have our feet underneath us, make this more of an ongoing project to do some more, animal studies to try to build it in more of the curriculum. So this is something that they can interact with on a daily basis, but it also has kind of real life responsibility that they have to care for an animal. So it's been a really good experience, and I hope this is something we can continue to do in the future.
It was such a wonderful experience for my students to be able to see this life cycle in real time. We teach this life cycle as part of our Cycles in Nature unit in our curriculum. And so to be able to see the things that they learn about in their books and the things that they write about and the things that they draw pictures of and see videos about, to be able to see that in real life right in front of them, that kind of experience is incredibly valuable to a student and their learning. And also, by being able to witness these incredible parts of nature unfold right in front of them, it makes students more excited about learning about the environment and learning about nature and learning about just the things that are going on around them in the natural world and how many incredible things go on that they might not even be aware of. And not only does it make them more interested in nature and the different aspects of the environment that we live in, but it makes it more likely for them to be willing to protect it in the future, taking care of the environment, wanting to protect it and treat it with respect and be advocates for treating the environment with respect to their peers and the adults that they encounter, and just really being the kind of person who truly wants to make a difference. That's what these kinds of projects allow students to be able to do. The amount of excitement that I see in my second graders with these tadpoles, it's incredible. They thought of names for all of them. They were hoping and praying that their name was the one that was going to get chosen from the cup of names that I had to draw. We had names from Jimmy, Jim Bob, Bob, Sassy Poo. Their creativity is just amazing to see. We also got to have our tadpoles on display for our open house event. So not only did our second graders get to see these tadpoles and experience them, but the entire school and their families got to come and see the tadpoles, look at them with magnifying glasses, read about the different facts that we had next to the tank. It was so wonderful to see all of their smiling faces, especially from the younger kids who know, ooh, when I get to second grade, my teacher raises tadpoles. I can't wait to raise tadpoles when I get to their classrooms. So we truly cannot thank Aaron enough for everything that he has done. His projects and his work is so admirable, and we're just beyond blessed to have him as part of our community and part of our school district projects.
These guys have already jumped off. They've gone this way, which is fine. I have them away from the green frog, who would be their predator in this situation. Good, buddy. Come on. There you go. Probably a great opportunity here tonight. We have a cold front moving through, so it's already rained. So it's gonna give these guys an opportunity to go out and find shelter and hunker down and hang in there. It is tough in June for a release, but especially right now, a lot of like random rainy days, even if it's only for a couple minutes, it's enough for these wood frogs and the American toads once we get there. This isn't just about 6 schools, it's about legacy. Every Frog Week begins with a story in the wild, but those stories only matter if they're passed on. This spring, 6 schools across Cambria, Somerset, and Westmoreland Counties raised wood frogs and American toads through Critter Talks, our conservation program in the classroom. These tiny amphibians represent more than another generation of frogs. They represent another generation of conservationists and future herpetologists. You can see all our friends. This is what it would have looked like if these guys would have survived, but Ironically, we had to bring Magic back to this vernal pool because it was actually dried out this year. These guys are fortunate that they don't have to worry about what this was before. We had a lot of very positive things going on here. I'm just so happy for these guys. I'm not sure if our wood frog friend is gonna make it, but there's a lot of them that were released. So very thankful to see these guys. This field season, this was the most American toads and wood frogs we put back in the wild. It was truly a great success for a year of drought and a lot of uncertainty. Sadly, many vernal pools failed this year, and if we hadn't intervened in a few of these populations, they wouldn't have had any survivors. Thankfully, that's not the case. Conservation never is the work of just one person. This year, the PA Woods and Forests Conservation Committee helped to lead frog walks, community events, field surveys, habitat construction, and countless hours behind the scenes. Watching this team grow has been one of the most rewarding parts of Frog Week and also running the organization. Their passion reminds me that the future of conservation is already here.
Well, sometimes little garters will just like, they'll give a little pinch.
Alright guys, what'd you think of Eastern Gray Tree Frogs here filming?
That was awesome. That was the best spot I've been to.
Alright, go ahead.
Can I just roll this?
All the
way or to a certain line? There's a little spider here.
Just fill it, and then you'll see that there's like a 5 mil line that you can dump out to.
$10 to eat the spider.
What's the difference between these solutions?
So bottle 1 and bottle 2, I'm not exactly sure why there's 2 bottles for it, but
Okay, do you put them both in?
yeah,
Okay.
so it'll be 16 drops. The stories don't end when Frog Week ends. They continue throughout the year. From all seasons, to the woods uncut, to wild vivariums, every adventure becomes an opportunity to appreciate the natural world. Frog Week is the end of the calendar year for Woods and Forests Media, meaning all of our shows are going to reset. Every episode is now part of a new season. As we continue defining what Woods and Forests Media is becoming, the new seasons for All Seasons the Hiking Show and Wild Vivariums are going to breathe new life into the media brand. Special shout out to Ben, the show host for All Seasons, and also special shout out to Josh, the IT person for Woods and Forests Media, and also the person who actually built the machine that I'm using to edit all of my videos on now. I couldn't do it without both of you guys. Special shout out to Amelia and everybody else who's involved in Woods and Forests Media as well. 2026 going into 27 is our year. I also wanted to give a huge shout out to AJ and Jane for getting engaged. AJ is a part-time All Seasons Hiking Show member, and I just wanted to give him a huge shout out. Congratulations, guys. I look forward to seeing all of the future endeavors that you guys are going to have together. Every season of Wild Vivariums, we ask a simple question: what can ambassador animals teach us about the natural world? This year, the Italian wall lizards begin in a new chapter. New behaviors, new observations, new challenges, and new stories waiting to unfold. Season 7 won't simply follow their lives. It'll explore what these remarkable reptiles continue to teach us about adaptation, resiliency, and thriving in a changing world. One of the most remarkable things about these wall lizards is that they're invasive. These little Italian wall lizards have been invading eastern Pennsylvania for around 50 years now, and it's time that we learn their story. In a tank with a lot of parity to the PA Woods vivarium, these wall lizards live in an abandoned PA backyard. Their story is only beginning. I'm very excited to introduce you or reintroduce you to Emperor Trajan, the Italian wall lizard who has made this enclosure his kingdom. We're going to learn how he was able to rise up and claim it for himself, and what that could mean with other wall lizards in the wild. These are a very bold species, as you can actually hand feed them. I've even caught the wall lizards eating many berries and apples that I put in the tank, some for feeder insects and some for the lizards themselves. Season 7 of Wild Vivariums is shaping up to be one of the most exciting. From Max, the Italian wall lizards, even Esperanza and Dexter, the gray tree frogs, there's so many things that we can teach you about the natural world, conservation, and even reflecting on how the Frog Week Conservation Project impacted the way we keep.
Hi, I'm Zach with Josh's Frogs, and we have a special guest visiting us here all the way from Pennsylvania. So without further ado, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I think that a lot of times people that are, trying to get their projects out there, even if it's a little bit of help, it goes a long way. But just getting the story out there of, the education behind it, what is in our woods and our forests, why is it important, and then, what should we feel about it?
I'll probably catch it if I go after it, because it doesn't.
Instead of going to the frogs, we make Ian bring the frogs to us. This is what happens whenever you're greedy. So curiosity killed the cat, and the greed of this frog wound it up in the wonderful and magnificent Ian in his hands. You gonna kiss it? For 8 years, Josh's Frogs has believed in the vision of Frog Week. Their support has helped classrooms raise amphibians, expanded our conservation efforts, and equipped our bioacoustic monitoring program. It's allowed us to tell stories that otherwise might never have been heard. Josh's Frogs actually gave me the bell frogs during my birthday on July 23rd, 2022. They gave us the lights that actually are used from the PA Woods Vivarium, the Grey Army, and even Max and the Australian frogs. They've done a lot for us over the years, donating pitcher plants for thousands of kids to enjoy in classrooms, helping us to raise the funds for the bioacoustic project, and also having me come and tour their program many times over, as we're going to do again, hopefully this year. They've even helped us with giving us millipedes from their program to raise and also allow for kids to learn how unique detritivores really are. We couldn't have done any of this without Josh's Frogs. I just wanted to give you guys a huge shout out and say thank you for all these years. Even though we showed 3 populations of American toads, probably the most nostalgic, they're not the only populations that PA Woods and Forests monitors. This population in Cambria County is one historically that I've always visited and tried to keep up with, making sure to rescue their tadpoles and keeping an eye on them. They're just as important to me as any of the other populations. Guys, I don't normally say this. This is absolutely the most beautiful American toad I've ever seen in my life. He is beautiful. This guy is. coming years. We take tadpoles to classrooms. Maybe this could be a spot where kids can raise them and we could bring them back.
So climb up there, probably enough light from the house to distract the insect.
We're just waiting for this guy to start calling. It's going to be a really good shot. Oh, he's got it behind him. Watch out. Take him. To them, and they'll grab a hold of her. This is the newest population of American toads, and one of the most important and consequential. We've actually deemed this population as one worthy of setting out the audio moth recorders and collecting more data. This is a population we had no idea existed. What are they doing? From not knowing they existed to now one of the top 5 most consequential populations of American toads, it's safe to say this population has made their impact on me and also the project. Where we had our frog walk last night, we got actually more American toads tonight. We're gonna do something here. Give a huge shout out to Josh's Frogs for sponsoring a grant project here. So one of the big things that we're doing is that we're trying to get audio of American toads. A little bit longer than Baldwin. He's faced Junia more times than we can count. He's survived storms. Oh yeah, I remember making this. To give you guys an idea how big the DC is, this is the building I work in. Okay, so that's the first building. There's another building over there. There's another building over there. There's a building up here. This is probably the one building that looks more like IUP, but I'm actually heading over because I got like 20 minutes. Don't worry, I don't think those police are coming for me because I'm actually supposed to be here tonight. But there are hundreds, if not maybe even thousands of spring peepers calling. Alright, we're going to start weighing more American toads. So we have 4 road rescues. Come here, buddy. Oh, come here. Come here, you're the first toad. Alright, buddy, how much do you weigh? Oh, 43, not bad. They're probably looking at you, buddy, like, how did you get out of the container? Come here. Oh, stop playing around. Come here, you're gonna go for a... There we go. Hey, there's female toads over here, buddy. I like to weigh wild American toads and gray tree frogs to know during different seasons what my American toads and gray tree frogs should probably weigh, especially because they come from some of the populations that I monitor. I look forward to explaining why it's so important to weigh frogs and toads across different seasons rather than just once and saying that's the weight they should be. Can't wait to show that in future episodes of Wild Vivariums and The Woods Uncut. He's 47. This guy lost some toes, some back toes. You see he's recovering. I don't know what happened to you. You got like really wounded. You're a mighty toad. Let's see what you weigh. Are you puffing yourself up? 35. 44, 46, not bad. Just wanted to take one last look at this tonight. Give some behind the scenes context here. This was the vernal pool for the last episode of Frog Week 2025. It was also the vernal pool used by Ananias, our rescued pet American toad. We have some friends out here who are his comrades, probably brothers, or at least his kin. You can see right here we got two of them, both male American toads. And there are around 15 here. So, if you recall, years ago, there used to be vernal pools across the street, but they've been flattened and have dried out over the course of the last few years, so they're not even there anymore. What the American toads chose to do is come here, and the magic of the vernal pool last year must have really attracted even more, because there were not 15 or 18 a year ago. We only saw maybe a couple at a time. Another surprise was seeing these plants come up, these pines that are not native. They were planted here. However, tonight we saw spring peepers actually utilizing them, calling from high up, which is a perfect place to get away from any predatory frogs or toads, I guess. But isn't this special to be here? How much history for Frog Week, 8 years. And here we are still. A lot of people don't realize that places that aren't designated with protection, especially this close to a road, are not easily maintained. They're not easily held onto. They're not easily resilient. But what is amazing is that we still have American toads from all the generations of moving them off the roads and helping them out, moving their tadpoles, and yet here they are. I sincerely hope that some of these are toads that survived from our intervention. But I don't get very many opportunities to be standing here during the season with the adult toads. I'm usually here only with the juveniles, so it's kind of nice to have this opportunity to see them. So we got 3 more. What do you think, guys? Is this better? We got ourselves a toad party. We got our friend over there. There we go. One friend took off. 2 friends took off. Good, buddy. After the tadpoles disappear and the American toads leave the backyards, for the most part, it's always fun to watch the leafcutter bees and some unknown parasitic wasp species colonize the bee houses that I have set out for them every year. It's one of the most rewarding things, and it's also something for the leafcutter bees that we try to promote them in a lot of other habitats. As you can see, over the years, this habitat in my backyard had gone from barren wasteland all the way up to now where it's hard to even move inside the fence. Virginia creeper and other species dominated. And here, the Bedford New Life Bible Camp habitat is beginning to follow in the same footsteps as my backyard habitat at home. Hopefully, native species will colonize that as well. And we also have one of our newest habitats that's been created. Special thanks to the UPJ Geography and Environmental Studies Department for partnering with us to build a frog pond on campus. I'm so excited to see what amphibians are going to utilize this and call it home. I already know wood frogs, spotted salamanders, and potentially American toads, all target species to PA Woods and Forests, are in the area. So hopefully they'll find it, and some college students can do some really neat research about it. The future is bright for other frogs and toads that want to get away from the northern green frogs on campus. Now they have a place to take refuge. Hopefully vernal pool breeders will find it and call it home. Frog Week has never belonged to just one person. It belongs to the PA Woods and Forests and Woods and Forest media communities.
Boulder right there in front of us, so
You'll go up then down and then meet you guys at that. Or
when we get to the boulder, I'll check you for fish. Because I think
that might be one on your right right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
They told me that kind of keep people out that way. Yeah, you can survive 6 months and down.
I wanted to give a huge shout out over these past 8 years to everybody who's helped to partner and build Frog Week to what it is. Whether you're a volunteer or board member with PA Woods and Forests, or if you're a member of the crew for Woods and Forest Media, I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you for all of the hard work that you guys have done, all the sacrifices that you've made, whether it was for me or for the project itself. And I just wanted to say thank you and reflect on all the people who have been so influential in my life. I also wanted to give a huge shout out to 3 of my mentors, Dr. Bonacea from Pitt Johnstown, herpetologist Frank Indiviglio from the Bronx Zoo, and Dr. Walter Mashaka, who's from Carnegie Museum of Natural History. I look forward to catching up with you guys after Frog Week, but also wanted to show you some respect and pay homage.
Yeah, it's kind of a neat experience here in the springtime in southwestern Pennsylvania. You always hear the peepers and you hear the different sounds of the evening, and it's nice to get up close and personal and be with an expert like Aaron to explain exactly what you're looking for and where to find them, and actually document some of the peepers and the green frogs. And we just saw an American toad, so there's a lot happening around us that we may hear it, but we don't get to see it, and this is a good opportunity to learn about frogs and toads and other amphibians through Aaron's work over the past couple of years. It's been great to follow.
Special shout out to a longtime supporter of Frog Week, USA Today journalist Brian Whipke. Special shout out to all of my friends, family, and supporters, and also even pets and fallen pets. I also want to thank my girlfriend Maria for making the sacrifices and giving me the time in the field to make Frog Week every year. It takes a lot of discipline and a lot of sacrifices to be able to do this. Thank you for all of your support and patience with me over the years, giving me grace to have the opportunity to have long nights in the field or long nights editing videos to make sure all of you got the very best of Frog Week over the last 8 years. Thank you so much, Maria. I really appreciate you. But this story for Frog Week 2026 is not over yet.
All right. This was the vernal pool the gray tree frogs had used. Our rope is still here, but this was destroyed. So all the gray tree frogs over the years that used this, it's gone. That's really disappointing. Not that it was gonna hold much water this year anyway, but this is awful. So all these gray tree frogs lost. I mean, there's little ruts here, but I can hardly even walk, let alone stand in this. Wow.
It's wonderful. All our hard work over the years has been destroyed. This is what remains. It does not look like it did a year ago. If you remember, I can remember. There's a lot of really cool stuff going on here. Not anymore. Well, I wondered why I didn't hear the great tree frogs calling. So they either moved or didn't breed this year. That was very disappointing to go through. All right, so funny story. It's the 4th of July, and I was actually making the last episode for Frog Week 2026, and was disappointed because the water in this vernal pool, the last episode last year, we had hundreds of baby toads that actually came out of this, and they were like really doing good, and I was so emotionally invested. And this year, you can see it's like been dried up. It's been 96, 92, 90 degrees last few days. I had been here the last few days, not before. I'd been here before the heat wave, so not during it. There must have been American toads. The heck? There must have been American toads that reproduced in the last few days. And as they reproduced, there are many baby toads, or I should say tadpoles at this point. The problem is that the puddles are so shallow, and I don't know when it's going to rain, if it is at all tomorrow. So this vernal pool had lost its magic in some ways this year as it's dried out. This is actually the 3rd time the American toads have laid eggs in here. Thankfully, I was able to move them out and get them out of here. This was all fate. If it wasn't in the cards here, I don't think there would be any way that I would have found this tonight before it would have dried up and been gone. So I was running out of options, wasn't sure what I was gonna do. I have moved a few thousand of these tadpoles. Some of them, it's just so late at night. I needed to do something because I can't be here to move 12 or 15 at a time as much as I can. I just can't do it. So for the sake of time, even if I go home and get some sleep and come back, I needed something that was going to help me, so that way I could initially move the ones I have in the car into a permanent body of water and still take care of these guys until I come back before it would dry up. So I had to stop at a local Sheets. Shout out to General Noah, and we're going to give them some purified Sheets drinking water to save the day. This is typically the time of the year whenever I'm winding down doing missions. I don't think we're going to do that this year, but huge shout out to Sheets. Only place that's open. We got through our open bottles. Now we just got these. We got a few boxes, to be honest with you. 18 gallons in 3 boxes. So we have 25 gallons of water, technically, that we're donating here to these guys tonight. And then I will come back another day. Well, not another day, I'll come back in a few hours. But this is enough to keep them alive through the morning. 4th of July. But yeah, this is not the most water I brought out to the forest, but probably the nicest way that I've done it. I used to bring 5-gallon buckets out, but I'm really thankful that she's had this much. But you can see how much water, it's actually made a difference. You wouldn't think that that much water would. I mean, it's not enough, it's not world beater level to like keep them alive for days, but enough to hopefully get them through at least until like around 12 or 1 when I can get back here. There's not that many, but there's enough that I just wanted to save them. What a difference just 48 hours will do. Look at this. I mean, I can't even imagine, like words can't even describe to you how crazy this is, that there's water everywhere and that there's a spring peeper calling. It's just, it's unbelievable, because this was dead in the water. There was literally like no hope whatsoever for those tadpoles, and now there's literally so much water that I can't even see them. There's definitely been last 2 years like a blessing over this specific vernal pool. I know that there have been some tadpoles that died recently. Oh, look at that, there's a water snake. No way. Did not expect to see a water snake in here. He's probably looking for the spring peeper to make sure we don't blow his cover then. But yeah, he's safe up there as long as he doesn't move and come down. But the tadpoles, I guess now they have a threat with a predator, of course. But isn't this cool to see how they got water? Oh, there goes a tadpole. I don't think you saw him on camera, but just unbelievable to see the blessing poured out here for these guys. Literally like a blessing poured out, because they were dead in the water. I couldn't get all of them, and now here we are, like, you know, it's been 3 days, and this pool not only was restored, but it was replenished. It's completely full. It's literally, I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's not just the magic of the vernal pool, it's almost like the blessing of this vernal pool, because there's no explanation. It's just, it's a miracle. It really is. And I'm so hopeful. I know this water snake's in here. I'm not going to do anything about him. This is his home, but these tadpoles hopefully will have a chance to survive and thrive, and we'll get some baby toads out of this, and that's amazing. It just leaves me in awe, the inspiration that comes from this pool. But I'm going to try to find this spring peeper without blowing his cover. I wanted to take this time to give a huge shout out to all the authors of these books. Some of the authors I actually know personally, and I can't wait to catch up with some of you after Frog Week. But take a look at the published books that I used for Frog Week this year. We also had digital formats as well, with peer-reviewed journal articles and also the iNaturalist and PARS databases. This is only a small fraction of the books that I wanted to include in this year's edition of Frog Week. Even though I wasn't successful in incorporating more than just this, I'm looking forward to what the future holds for Frog Week 2027. It's finally time to talk about the other part of the project that Woods and Forest Media was spearheading. Not only making these videos and filming, but running the iNaturalist project and making sure that it went smoothly, setting all the parameters and guidelines in place. As you could see, This is a small window of time I was able to get screenshots over the course of this year through this field season, and you can see how the records continuously change. It always looks like there's one or two frogs or toads that are going to dominate and take over, but every so many weeks, something dramatically changes. A new species comes out to reproduce, and that means there's even more of them now than there ever were before. And as you can see, the battle for the top this year, it was still between the American toad and green frog. However, the spring peeper came out swinging, and we had a chance to finally get the numbers up of the spring peeper closer to what it actually is. It's also important to understand this is a reflection of not individual frogs, but of all the frogs counting as one record on one night. There's many more than just 246 green frogs, I promise you. It's important every year that we understand how we got to this point, a reflection point, one that we understand how Frog Week, PA Woods and Forests, and Woods and Forests media all came to be. If it wasn't for the introduction of Ace into my life, none of this would have existed. Finding this little female American toad fallen in a pot that was dug in the ground at a plant nursery, little did I know at the time, would change my life and the trajectory of what my life's purpose would be. If it wasn't for Ace, none of this would have been possible. Understanding the passion and the value that I had, learning from this little toad every single day, having the privilege to care for her and understand who she was. If it wasn't for the dedication and the love that I have for her, we wouldn't have anything else. When she passed away during the first day of Frog Week 2024, a piece of me passed away with her, and I wasn't sure that we were going to do Frog Week anymore, or that I was going to keep frogs and toads. It wasn't until recently that I thought about what Ace's legacy actually was. Ace was Frog Week, the embodiment of conservation, the embodiment of what it means to be passionate about doing something that you care about and sharing that with the rest of the world. If it wasn't for Ace, none of that would have happened, or been possible, or been pulled out of me. It became apparent during Frog Week 2025 that Ace's legacy was Frog Week. But there was another side to her legacy that I wouldn't uncover until Frog Week 2026, as I pursued the educator permit to give her a home and also bring in other rescued frogs and toads. If it wasn't for her and the inspiration that she provided, we wouldn't have opportunities for Woods and Forests media to tell stories about the rescued frogs and toads that we focus on. None of them would be here if it wasn't for Ace. As we wrap up telling the greatest story that we've ever told, I wanted to make sure we revealed the inspiration and the reason why we're even telling stories to begin with, and that's because of Ace. I want to thank you for watching Frog Week 2026 and watching all the stories, whether it was through the rescued frogs and toads or all of the individual species. I want to give you a huge shout out and thank you for being a follower and supporter of Frog Week, whether you've watched it for 8 years or you just found it this year. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share for more Frog Week content. We'll see ya when Wild Vivariums debuts Season 7. Thanks.